The story of Solomon, a warning against the allure of deception. King Solomon's life is not just a historical account, it's a spiritual mirror. It reflects the choices we face daily, the deceptive allure of sin, and the enduring truth that not everything that glitters is gold. His story teaches us that even the wisest person can be blinded by temptation, and it challenges us to think carefully about the decisions we make. The allure of what seems golden Solomon's wealth and power were unmatched. In 1 Kings 10:23 it says, "King Solomon was greater in riches and wisdom than all the other kings of the earth." He lived a life that many would envy, surrounded by luxury, influence, and beauty. But the things that glittered in his life, his 1,000 wives and concubines, his vast wealth, and his political alliances, were not gold. They were a trap. Deuteronomy 17:17 specifically warned kings of Israel not to take many wives or accumulate excessive wealth, because these things could lead them away from God. Solomon ignored this command, choosing what appeared to be beneficial in the moment. His marriages were politically strategic, but spiritually destructive. Challenge yourself. What glittering things in your life are you chasing? Are these things truly good for you, or are they traps in disguise? The deceptive nature of sin. Sin rarely shows its true cost up front. It often comes wrapped in appeal, offering promises of happiness, fulfillment, or success. Solomon's decisions seemed wise on the surface, securing alliances and solidifying his reign, but they came with a hidden price tag. Over time, these choices turned his heart away from God. 1 Kings 11:4 says, "As Solomon grew old, his wives turned his heart after other gods, and his heart was not fully devoted to the Lord his God." What began as a seemingly harmless decision led to idolatry, broken relationships, and the eventual downfall of his kingdom. Challenge yourself. Are you making decisions today that could lead to regret tomorrow? What small compromises are you allowing in your life that could grow into bigger problems? The ripple effect of poor decisions. Solomon's choices didn't just affect him. They impacted an entire nation. His idolatry set a dangerous precedent, leading Israel into widespread sin. God declared in 1 Kings 11:11, "Since this is your attitude, and you have not kept my covenant and my decrees, I will most certainly tear the kingdom away from you." After Solomon's death, the once united kingdom of Israel was divided, ushering in generations of conflict and strife. This is the nature of sin. It doesn't just harm the one who sins, it ripples outward, affecting families, communities, and even future generations. Challenge yourself. Who will be impacted by your decisions? Are you building a legacy of integrity or leaving behind pain and brokenness? The emptiness of chasing glitter. Solomon pursued everything the world had to offer. In Ecclesiastes 2:10 he writes, "I denied myself nothing my eyes desired, I refused my heart no pleasure." Yet, in verse 11 he admits, "When I surveyed all that my hands had done and what I had toiled to achieve, everything was meaningless, a chasing after the wind." The things he thought would bring him joy left him empty. This is the nature of deception. It promises satisfaction but delivers despair. Challenge yourself. What are you chasing right now? Will it bring lasting fulfillment, or will it leave you empty? The cost of compromise. Solomon's story reminds us that the cost of compromise is often far greater than we imagine. His wealth, power, and alliances couldn't save him from the consequences of his decisions. His kingdom was divided, his peace was shattered, and his relationship with God was broken. In Galatians 6:7, we're reminded, "Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows." Every decision has a cost, and no one is exempt from the consequences of their actions. Is this decision worth the price? Am I chasing something that only looks good but will ultimately harm me? How will this choice affect my relationship with God and others? Remember, the things of this world may glitter, but they can never replace the eternal treasure of walking in obedience to God. Solomon's story calls us to choose wisely, live with integrity, and build a legacy of faithfulness. As he concluded in Ecclesiastes 12:14, God will bring every deed into judgment, including every hidden thing, whether it is good or evil. The glitter may fade, but God's truth endures forever. Choose what is right, not what is easy. Your decisions matter, today, tomorrow, and for eternity.